Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, gender non-conforming folks out there, every fan base will try to weave you some fantastic tale about how they got it hard, how they got it rough, how you don't know what it's like to be a fan of this team. I'm here to tell you, everybody, unless you're maybe a Cleveland Browns fan, nobody, but nobody, has it harder than the New York Jets. They are now 0-4. They lost to a Miami Dolphins team that was just leaking coolant coming into this game. They did not record a turnover. They are the first team in 5 years to not have a turnover in the first 4 games of the year. The Jaguars have 13, by the way. The Jets have 0. Ugats. The Jets made some plays in the second half, utterly too late because they dug themselves a ridiculous hole. They committed God knows how many penalties. Now, the officiating was bad. I'll give them that. They had to have missed 4 or 5 plays that went against the Jets, either no calls or incorrect calls. But still, that many penalties, ridiculous. I think eventually Aaron Glenn will be a good coach. He is not right now. I think eventually Tanner Engstrom will be a good OC. He's not right now. I think Steve Wilkes might not make it till the end of the year. I think this team is a bottom 5 unit on both sides of the ball in the league, which is saying something because they have some players on both sides of the ball, especially on defense, but they just can't do anything right there. The Jets are one of the 3 winless teams in this league right now. The Titans, who are somehow worse than the Jets. The Saints, who actually give people games outside of Seattle. And then there's the Jets. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Mike Luciano. Justin Fried will join the Jet Press podcast a little bit later. He's working on kind of polishing up his post-game fallout over there because this was absolutely brutal. Now, some good news. Aaron Glenn supposedly, for Zach Rosenblatt, yelled loud enough for us to hear him in the press conference room, in the locker room. So he's mad. And I get why he's mad. Because this was a game, and look, Aaron Glenn deserves... Here's what Aaron Glenn deserves blame on. I'll at least tell you what I think he did wrong. The penalties, we've said before, are not necessarily emblematic of coaching, but these are communication things. These are false starts. These are frustration penalties. Some of these are things that a coach could sort of rein in, and Aaron Glenn did not do that. I think he goes into games entirely too conservatively, and then he needs to kind of be shaken out of it. I think him delegating so much of the defensive responsibility to Steve Wilkes has been an absolute nightmare. So much so that I don't think Wilkes, by the end of this year, like if heads roll at the end of this year, it won't be Aaron Glenn unless they win like 1 or 2 games, which this team is bad. Show me the wins on this schedule right now. I think right now, Wilkes, I don't know if he makes it. I think the Monday after week 18, I think he might be gone. This team is bad on both sides of the ball. With the amount of talent they have on defense, they should not be this bad. We always talk about in games. This team won the game. This team lost the game. It's a popular little point to jump off in these things. The Dolphins did not win this game. The Jets lost this game. Braylon Allen was a yard from a touchdown, fumble. Kickoff to begin the second half, fumble. Fair catching the ball at the 2-yard line. These are same old Jets things. Aaron Glenn defenders, I think, will rightly say that he doesn't have the talent to do so, but I think it's everybody sucking in tandem as Justin Fried comes in. Everybody's sucking in tandem right now. I needed to wait for you.
Whoa. Pause. Hold up. Sorry.
Because here's what I need to do, and I wanted Justin to be here because...
No, what are you doing?
I've brought back...
Oh, no.
The trash bag.
Okay.
This is the only thing that Jets fans should be wearing out right now because unless you're a Tennessee Titans fan, I think this is the worst team in the league right now. I think that heads might roll at the end of this year if things don't improve. And I also think that the Jets, for some reason, played okay in the second half. I thought they made a couple plays, but they have gotten in a habit of digging themselves in such a big hole that they can't get out of it, and it is... Unfortunately, a hallmark as I try not to suffocate myself.
I was gonna say, can you breathe in that thing?
Yeah, I
Jesus
can.
Christ.
It's become a hallmark of the Glenn era, so much so that I think Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engström will eventually be good coaches. Right now, they are not.
Yeah, they're not, man. They're not. Hold on, vamp for like 30 seconds while I tweet this link out.
Sure thing, because we'll do a jumping off point once
Okay.
once Justin Fried gets everything all set up and goes into his little spiel.
Yeah.
There are some positives from this game. Very few, but there are some. We'll get into that. It's a 1-to-5 ratio in terms of positive to negative. This team, this is rock bottom.
Yep.
I think the Titans are the only team in the league worse than them. And if you're looking at this schedule, you're looking, we could win these games. Carolina, Cincinnati with Jake Browning, New Orleans. Do what they're saying. Oh, we're playing the Jets. We can get a win there. We're playing the Jets.
All right. They needed this one, man. I really wanted to come on here because I realized before this game that I was like, the last time that we have gotten to fully enjoy a Jets victory was the Patriots game last year. That was the 24-3 game. The game where I infamously came on this show and I said a few words that I might regret in hindsight, which were that same old Jets is dead.
Same old Jets. This ain't even same old Jets. This is worse.
I think the Jets have done everything in their power since I said those words to prove me wrong. And yet it's a very bad football team, a really bad football team in every possible way, in ways that it's hard to even quantify.
It's hard to really divvy up the blame pie.
That's what I was tweeting. I tweeted this out where I'm like, I'm not sure where the blame fully lies. I mean, you could start with the quarterback. I thought Justin Fields was untenable for 3/4 of this game. He had
second half, I thought he made some plays.
Towards the end of the third quarter, that last drive in the third quarter, the one that had the absolutely fucking bullshit Garrett Wilson offensive pass interference call, which look, let's say this really quick.
Not to jump in here, Justin, because the Jets deserve most of the penalties they got. They are an undisciplined football team. This is not the reason they lost this game. There had to be 5 calls where they either missed a penalty that would have helped the Jets or called one that hurt them.
There was
had to be 5 of them and a half.
Garrett Wilson offensive pass interference, the late hit on Justin Fields that was not called, the Joe Tippmann hands to the face that was not called, and then I believe it was Jeremy Ruckert had caught a pass and a Dolphins defender jumped on him about 5 or 6 seconds after the play was over. Those 4 plays right there, if they go the other way, look, I'm not saying the Jets win this game. They absolutely did not deserve to win this game, but it's certainly closer. And it was a 6-point game at the end of it, crazily enough, even though it didn't feel like it. Obviously, again, the Jets did not deserve to win this game. We will be the last ones to blame the officiating. I never fucking do that. I hate it. It's not productive in any way. But yeah, absolute dog shit officiating second half. And it was all one-sided, which made it unfortunate. But yeah, I thought Justin Fields was unplayable the first half he was completely
He couldn't even ID a mic. I mean, that's high school stuff.
There were protection issues up front, and it was largely the quarterback. Like they were just unblocked rushers. It was not a situation where guys were getting beat. It was, we didn't slide our protection right. Like, we didn't ID the mic. Like, okay, this is on the quarterback here. The illegal shift penalties. Field was not waiting for his guys to get set. There was a delay of game. He was mentally, I have not seen a quarterback. And we watched Zach Wilson play quarterback
for 3 years.
I don't think I've seen a Jets quarterback, or any quarterback for that matter, as mentally out of it as Fields was in the first half. And for the first part of the third quarter too, it was the same situation. And then for whatever reason, that last drive in the third quarter, he finally found a rhythm. And I like this from Tanner Engström. I tweeted this out too, where it was the completion, that first completion to Garrett Wilson. I believe there was literally about a minute to go in the third quarter. And that was the first pass I think that Fields attempted, not only completed, attempted in this game. That was not a designed quick read, like an out or a check down. That was the first time he even it was a nice play. It was
against the worst corners ever.
Against Jack fucking Jones and Rasul,
who forced a fumble on Braylon Allen at the 1 yard line.
And Cornell Armstrong and Juju Brents. There is not a single NFL caliber cornerback on this goddamn roster. And for 3 quarters, the Jets couldn't do anything in the passing game.
Here's a great stat, Justin. Jets receivers outside of Garrett Wilson, 1 catch for 8 yards. Alan Lazard.
We're getting Josh Reynolds targets in one-on-one 50-50
deep balls
on a must-score drive. Why? And I know that's not Tanner Engström calling it. That's not me being like, Tanner Engström, tell him to throw to Garrett Wilson. I'm sure Reynolds is not the first read on that play. I guarantee you, Tanner Hengstrom did not draw up a play where it's like, all right, we got Garrett Wilson and we got Josh Reynolds in one-on-one, 50-50 situations. We're going to go to Reynolds instead. No, that's on the quarterback. I think Fields had a couple of nice throws in the end of that third quarter.
That touchdown run was insane too.
Yeah, that's just playground like football. I have no takeaways. Cool. It is cool. It's very cool. I have no like big picture takeaways from that other than, yeah, Justin Fields can do that. Tyrod Taylor can't do that. We know that. That's why I've been saying for the last week that the ceiling of the offense and for the offense to function the way the Jets want it to, you need Justin Fields to start. Unfortunately, you can't have Justin Fields playing like he has for 6 of his last 7 quarters. You can't. It is an unplayable situation when you have the quarterback playing football like that. It's like, it's the pre-snap mental stuff. It's not even like, it's a different brand of Jets football incompetence because it's not like what we saw with Zach Wilson, where it's like, all right, Wilson can't complete a screen pass. He can't throw a 2-yard out, right? That's not the issue with Fields.
He gets in these moods where he just blacks out.
The issue with Fields has been he can't fucking ID the mic. He can't slide protection, so he's getting his ass kicked every second, and he's afraid to throw the ball, so he just runs. And sometimes he'll do good shit, like he did with the long 40-yard touchdown run, because he's an amazing athlete. But you can't survive in the NFL with a quarterback like that. So yeah, I do think the Jets need Justin Fields for this offense to reach its ceiling, but it's not ever gonna. It's not playable. It's an untenable situation if he is playing like that. It was better
if they played like they played in the second half the entire game. I think they probably might win this game, or at least come something close. And the second half, they looked like a real football team. The first half was an atrocity.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? This was a 6-point game in the end, in a game the Jets had 13 penalties, I think.
And they fumbled at the one. They should have scored that.
They fumbled at the one. Their punt returner took a fucking
fair catch at the 2 after he fumbled the kick return. Isaiah Williams, if he's in... Please, where's Xavier Gibson? Bring him back.
I already thought Isaiah Williams was probably gone before this week.
Oh, now he's sure. I don't even think they let him on the plane.
Kene Nwangwu should be back next week. Isaiah Williams, even before this week, like this isn't like a revisionist history. I don't think his kick return reps have been good. He's done absolutely nothing as a kick returner. Some of the times, like I remember at least one distinct play, I think in the Tampa game, where he ran directly into one of his blockers. And I'm like, this is the guy they got specifically to be a kick returner? Like, he does not look like he's a kick returner.
Why was Braylon Allen running back kicks?
I don't know, Mike. There were about...
And then he blew out his knee for that. We may not have our number 2 running back in a run-heavy offense.
I'd rather see Allen fucking Lazard returning kicks. Because, you know,
I'd rather see Max Mitchell running back kicks.
Honestly,
Braylon Allen.
That'd be more fun. You know what? Make Jelani Woods active. Put Jelani. Remember Niles Paul
the old tight end for Washington.
Yes, Niles Paul would return kicks for Washington.
Vernon Davis would do that too.
Put Stone Smart back there. You know, the first time that I saw Stone Smart on a football field for the Jets this season was that the last ditch lateral play where I forgot who pitched it to him, but it was a
Ruckert maybe? No,
I think it was Ruckert or Taylor. Yeah. It was an illegal forward pass, and I was like, "Holy shit! Is that 84? Do I see Stone Smart? He exists." I didn't know he exists, Mike. I didn't know.
Let's try and autopsy this game, as Patrick Cahill says. My boys are heated. Oh yeah, plenty more of that coming.
Really quick, because I started saying this in the beginning. You need, if you want to prove that things are different, and you want to prove that the same old Jet shit is dead, which Aaron Glenn has been very vocal about, right? You need to.
You missed, by the way, before he got in. Apparently, he was yelling at the team so loud in the locker room they could hear it in the press conference room.
Whatever it takes, man. I don't care.
It's something.
I don't care if he's yelling. I don't care if he's silent. I don't give a shit what the fuck he's doing. I don't care if he's playing a hopscotch with him in the locker room. I just want to fucking win a game, Mike. I want to win a fucking game.
A game. This defense plays Dak next week.
We haven't enjoyed the Jets' victory in over a year.
Because even the ones they won at the end.
No,
it didn't matter.
I had this realization earlier. Sorry, I'm jumping around here, but
how can you not? Everything sucked.
I had this realization earlier when I was talking with a buddy of mine, and I was like, over the last 5 to 10 years, how many of the Jets' wins have actually been like truly enjoyed by the majority of the fan base? It's not many of them. The majority of the games that the Jets have won over the last 5 to 10 years have been meaningless wins when the season is already over. That means over the last 10 years, 85% of the football games we have watched, we have just been upset.
New England game was the last one.
I want to enjoy a game. I want to enjoy a Jets victory. And this was the perfect opportunity because eventually, if you are changing the culture, if you're proving things are different, and this isn't me like trying to be a referendum on Aaron Glenn. I don't think Aaron Glenn sucks. And I think a lot of what happened in this game, it's hard to even be like, well, Aaron Glenn shouldn't have told Brown not to fumble. Should have told Isaiah Williams.
Oh, he's telling them to fumble. That was his problem. Like he's not like.
But if you are
they suck.
If you want to prove that you are changing the culture, you have to start winning division games. You have to start winning road games. You have to stop getting embarrassed on primetime television. And I know this was a 6-point game, but there were like 3 or 4 plays in this game where I was like, well, that's going to get memes. That's going to get clipped into oblivion. The Isaiah Williams, like fair catch at a 2-yard line.
The fact too, the funniest part was he catches it and he looks back and goes, ah.
Yeah,
like,
like, oh, that's where I
I thought I was at the 25-yard line.
I was at the 20. Holy shit.
I was playing Canadian football.
How did I get back here? Like,
what?
It's just
you just see like little cartoon question marks.
Right. It's just mind-boggling, man. It truly a remarkable football team. And I don't want to be doing this. It's not fun. Like, I know we're kind of joking around a little bit. I don't enjoy it. I'd so much rather be sitting here saying, man, the Jets, they finally did it. They won a division game. They won a division road game on primetime television in a game that actually mattered. Instead, here we are.
All right, let's do... There are scant positives. Let's try. Here are the things the Jets do well as a team.
I thought Mason Taylor looked good.
Mason Taylor looks... They can run the ball. They have established they are a good running team.
Yes.
Membu, I thought, was very good this game, especially early.
The run blocking was great. They got in a hole, so it was harder for them to run the offense.
Well, they tried. They tried.
Well, they tried also out of necessity because for 3/4 of that game.
It's that old chicken or the egg. Like, we can't throw, we can only run. Right. Do we run in situations where it's not advantageous or throw, which we know can't work?
For 3/4 of this game, they were terrified to let Justin Fields throw the ball against Jack Jones and Rasul Douglas. We were sitting here in August, Mike. I remember us talking in August, looking at this Dolphins roster and saying, holy shit, there isn't an NFL. The only NFL caliber cornerbacks on this Dolphins roster were Kader Kohu, who got hurt in the summer, and Storm Duck, who's also hurt.
And Jalen Ramsey, who they traded.
They also had Jason Marshall, who was terrible, but he's hurt. Ethan Bonner, the third best, the worst white cornerback in the NFL, he's hurt. They have guys, Jack Jones and Rasul Douglas were not on this team in July. Those are starting corners.
Justin Fields is the biggest empath quarterback ever. They actually try to throw the ball down the field. When Tanner Engstrand isn't scared of Fields making mistakes, which I get it's easy to be scared of him making mistakes because he's not great pre-snap. Mm-hmm. Like, there's actual rhythm. Like, that touchdown throw to Wilson, I thought that got negated on a completely horseshit penalty.
Ridiculous.
Great throw. He has that great run. I thought he was moving the ball pretty well at some of the throws he did. But, like, when Engstrand gets scared, Fields gets scared.
I think you're right.
Because he's like, they don't believe in me. They're running all this conservative stuff. So he gets in my mind, like, just get it out. Don't make a mistake. So then you're handicapping him. And again, I sympathize with Tanner Engstrand because I've said from outside of week 1, he doesn't have the personnel to run what he wants to run. So he's trying to retrofit something, and I think he's doing okay in some regards. But, like, that's where I think Glenn, that's a problem with Glenn, too. I think Glenn and Engstrand in tandem is they come out of the gate way too conservative in these games. And I get it because, again, they run the ball well, and you want to run the ball well, and that's what this team is built for. Mm-hmm. I thought Simpson, outside of that penalty, played okay. I thought Membu was very good.
I thought Fashanu played well, too.
Fashanu was much better. Like, the offensive line, I thought, played very well.
I know a lot of fans will look at the first half and be like, Fields had no time to throw. No, man. Like, that was not
he was missing.
That was not guys. Those were protection, or not protection. Those were communication issues, and those were largely a result of the quarterback.
Now, the defense, I actually thought, despite the fact Achane had like a couple runs later, I thought for most of the game they defended the run well. Mm-hmm. Really, the only high degree of difficulty throw I saw Tuame was that touchdown to Waller, which people are going, why is Sauce on Darren Waller anyway in that situation?
That was just a great play. Like,
that was a great play too. To get the feet down too, yeah.
Evans, I thought, played it well too. Like, that was just a great play.
The biggest mistake Aaron Glenn made, and Robert Saleh made this when he came here, was he delegated too much of the defensive responsibility to Jeff Ulbrich for Robert Saleh when he came here, and to Steve Wilkes, Aaron Glenn when he came here. Now, this defense is not very deep. No. They have one good secondary player, Sauce,
who's also not playing particularly well.
but also he's the best secondary player running away, not even close.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But and that's saying a lot because I don't think I think he's having a worse year than he did last year.
I think he's having a very good year, but not best player in the league.
Say that. I feel like I'm I don't want to say this, Mike. I'm becoming the more critical of Sauce. I think it's been a bad year for him. I think if we want to have the Sauce Gardner conversation really quick, I think if you are going to be a liability in run defense, which he is, I don't think he's been like especially bad.
Better this year,
but he's never going to be. It's never going to be a strength of this game.
Yeah.
And you can't create takeaways, which in a defense like this, they desperately need someone who could do that, and he can't do that. You need to be an elite shutdown corner, and he hasn't been. I think he's been an above average.
Fair, in this game, did they ever really throw at him?
We had the holding penalty, or they had the defensive pass interference,
which I thought was a ticky tack. I don't know.
Yeah,
even then, most of the play, I kept saying to myself, "How are guys wide open?" Tyreek, before he isn't leg, that was nasty.
Yikes! Yeah,
wide open. Jalen Waddle, wide open. Well, Tua never made one throw outside a wall where I'm like, "Wow, that was a good play."
A lot of it, I thought was
the big problem. I think with the whole Wilkes thing is, they have one good secondary player, Sauce. They have one good linebacker, Quincy Williams. He's hurt. They have 1.5 good defensive ends, and the one of them is hurt, Jermaine Johnson, who's incredibly important to this defense. And they have one above average defensive tackle, Quinnen Williams, then Harrison Phillips is okay.
Yeah, Quinnen is awesome. Quinnen has easily been the best player in this defense this year.
He's that meme of the Maserati under the tin roof.
He's the only player on this entire defense who I think is playing up to standard. Like I don't think anybody else. Like Sherwood has had a disappointing year. Sauce had a very disappointing year. I think you could even get better football out of guys like Andre Cisco. Like I think Cisco is capable of better than what he's shown this year. I think low key. Brandon Stevens, I don't think has been particularly terrible the last 2 weeks.
He played pretty well today.
This was a good Brandon Stevens game. I don't think he's been an issue. Michael Carter, who had to leave with a concussion,
he's been so cooked.
His body. I don't know if it's his body is failing him, but he has been a disaster, and he has been. I would say, if it wasn't for Tony Adams, would be the biggest liability.
Adams is like not even. He's getting to Michael Clemens territory.
I tweeted this out too. I think Adams is batting about.
Michael Clemens actually was okay today too. He had a couple reps.
The best pass rush rep I've ever seen him. It was in the fourth quarter against the right tackle. Completely bulldozed.
Just bull rushed him. Yeah.
Now he's not athletic enough to even bring down the quarterback when he
just fell down when Tua moved.
Does Michael Clemens have a career sack?
Yeah, he has a couple.
He does. Okay.
I think he has like 5 or 6 or something.
No shot. He has 5 sacks in his career.
I don't remember when they came. They might have been like cleanups. He has 7.5 career sacks.
He had 4.5 sacks last year. I would love to see those.
That had to be all cleanup stuff.
Because the issue with
I bring all that up, Justin, because the Jets have enough talent to not be a good defense, but like they should look better than they are. Steve Wilkes has been a defensive coordinator for a very long time. They should not look this bad and this unprepared. They should not have guys this wide open. Justin, how many times did they run a play action little naked boot thing and 8 guys all went to the running back? That had to have happened 4 or 5 times.
I think I deleted this tweet, but this is an unbelievably undisciplined defense. And it's not undisciplined in the same way people said Robert Saleh's defenses were undisciplined, where it's like, oh, they get too many personal fouls. Like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about defensive ends because they have one NFL caliber defensive end currently healthy on their roster, and it's Will McDonald, who I saw someone mention this chat. I actually thought this was, I thought this was the best run defending Will McDonald game that we've seen in a long. I thought he was actually pretty okay in run defense.
They actually are a decent run defense. Outside of Buffalo, which nothing.
It's the only thing they do it even close to a league average level on that defense because they're a terrible pass defense. They're a terrible pass.
They're the first team since the 2020 Texans to not have a turnover in the first 4 games of the season.
Well, this was the first season in NFL history, Mike, that 2 teams were 0-3 entering week 4 with 0 takeaways, and those teams happen to play each other today. And
Jaguars have 13, by the way, right now. Jets have 0.
I forget what they look like. What does a takeaway look like? I've done this.
Like they're never even outside of that Stevens dropped interception against the Steelers. Like they're not even in positions to get picks. It's not even like they have like 3 drop picks this year.
I've been doing this running bit on Twitter. I'm sure you saw with the
fumble.
Yeah, the
fumble
thing, which
had to be 4 of them.
I first tweeted it out in week 2 as like a joke. And I was like, well, the Jets are going to eventually recover one. I think
no, they ain't.
I think I've tweeted that same thing like 9 times since then over the last 3 weeks because there's been like 9 fumbles and the Jets haven't recovered any of them. It's insane. I like it's somewhat like a lot of it is luck because it's like it's just bouncing to the other team. It's not like the Jets are on top of it and it squeezes out. Like it's actually just bouncing to the other team. And I'm not sure how you fix that, but You need playmakers on this defense, and the Jets have none. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this. They need Brandon Echols. Like, they need somebody like that.
Well, hopefully that's Jarvis Brownlee.
That hopefully it is Jarvis Brownlee, but like, you need somebody, even if they stink, at least they'll get, like Ashton Davis. Like, Ashton Davis will stink for 80% of the game.
He'll make a play eventually.
He'll make a play, and that one play will be huge. So he might be a liability the other 80% of the game. But if he's making one play, that's already better than anything you're fucking getting from Tony Adams or Andre Cisco or Michael Carter or Francisco Maligoa, whose only play that he made was trying to take Tua's head off.
I thought he had a couple early on, but
yeah, he had one good run stop earlier, like one.
But I mean, I'm not going to grade him too harshly.
No, I'm not. I was just listing players who played.
So the biggest problem with this team, now the defense is bad. It's not good, but it's worse than it should be. I think
I think the Jets currently have a bottom 3 defense in the NFL.
But they should not be. Even if they're bad, they should not be that bad.
I think currently the Jets have a bottom 3 offense and a bottom 3 defense. I think they were 4th worst in EPA allowed per dropback or EP allowed per play. Going into this week, they probably fell below that.
Did you see Fields had an XQBR of like 67 or something like that?
I saw you mention that.
Well, because of they gave him probably for the run.
Yeah,
but yeah. The Jets offense, if they play like they did in the second half of Tampa Bay and this game, because I thought Fields actually made a couple throws. I thought the running game wasn't great, but there were still a couple chunk Brees plays in there that you like to see. Mason Taylor finally got involved, his best game. They're not going to be a good offense, but they're going to be good enough where you can win some games right now.
Ambassador Woody Johnson.
Oh, no, not this again.
We're going to get to comment in a sec, but Ambassador Woody Johnson is back in chat, Mike. He said, I don't know what your problem is. We're getting a ton of revenue from our TV deals.
I mean, like, is this Woody Johnson's fault? Like, I don't know. Like,
hey, man, anything to save money from instead of giving actual packages to the season ticket holders. You know, they've cut all that.
The biggest problem with this team, Justin, I'm not kidding. If Garrett Wilson is not in this wide receiver room, is this like a historically bad ever? But I'm going to say last 5 years. Is this the worst wide receiver room in the league?
I want to be so clear right now, and I want to make this very clear. I am not joking. This is not a bit. I'm not playing. This is not a gag. I'm not memeing here. If Garrett Wilson is forced to miss any game for the Jets this year, the Jets offense should be an Army-Navy style offense. They should
not throw the ball more than 10 times.
They actually should run wishbone. I'm dead fucking I want Jelani.
Well, they can't even do that because Braylon Allen's hurt.
I want Mason Taylor, Jelani Woods, Jeremy Rucker, Andrew Beck on the field at the same time. I want all
It's that bad, folks.
I want all 4 of those guys out there instead of Josh Reynolds. Because what the fuck is Josh Reynolds doing as wide receiver 1 if Garrett Wilson is
immediate fix, and this will not make this team good. Arian Smith, wide receiver 2 rest of the year. Just to see if he does anything. Maybe he's an Ashton Davis on offense where he's bad for most of the game and then occasionally get a 60-yard touchdown. Maybe. I don't know. But I know. Here's what I know. Josh Reynolds, good career. He's done. Allen Lazard, from where he started, pretty good career. He's an undrafted guy. Good for making a value out of that in the NFL. He's done. Arian Smith, bad to start. Who knows? Maybe he'll end up being okay. He's a 4th-round pick. He's got speed. Maybe there's something there. Justin is another guy on this. We were joking around because if you guys remember, we brought Josh Hill from the Pewter Plank on, and they have a bunch of great wide receivers over in Tampa Bay. We brought him on before week 3. Trey Palmer barely plays for them. He's like he got caught back on the practice squad.
Is he still with them?
I think he's with them on their practice squad.
He's with the Saints now.
He is? I thought he was back with the Bucs.
No, he's with the Saints. The Saints signed him off waivers.
Okay, well, I think he was with the Bucs when I was making this point. I think they just recently claimed him. He would be number 2 on the Jets with a bullet, not even close. That is how bad this team, outside of Garrett Wilson, who, again, I thought he should have had a touchdown catch in this game. Oh, no, he got one later because of the –
Should have 2.
Should have 2.
A crazy catch that no one's going to ever talk about ever again because who cares? But an awesome catch, like the actual touchdown that counted.
I've been soft on Darren Muji because, again, there's only so many resources you have to rebuild a team. This wide receiver room is pathetic.
Yeah.
Outside of Garrett Wilson.
The issue,
and it's a shame that they're going to be this bad because if they're this high, even with Fields, no matter how he plays, if they're anywhere this high, they're taking a quarterback. So that deprives you of a chance to get a really good edge rusher, a really good wide receiver like a Jordan Tyson or a Carnell Tate. You can't get those guys in the first round. Actually, you're going to take a quarterback. This receiver room, if Aaron Glenn does not work out with the Jets, this might sink them. You can't, in the modern NFL, operate with a wide receiver room like it's. You use the word untenable a lot, like Fields against Buffalo in the first. You can't. They had one catch outside of Garrett Wilson. Mason Taylor looks good. You can't do that. You can't do. Who are they going to get catches against? If they can, they play Dallas next week. Dallas' secondary is just as bad as Miami's, maybe worse.
Oh, it's not worse. This is the worst.
I mean, in terms of yardage, they're giving up. They're the worst defense in the league in terms of yardage.
There's no reason this Dolphins look at the corners they got, bro. Like, this got to be the worst.
Well, but performance-wise, Dallas is just as bad.
It's very bad.
And I would say, maybe this could be a breakout game. This was supposed to be a breakout game, and they had one catch for 8 yards.
I need to watch, like, we're going to have to watch back the All-22, and I mentioned this in the first half, too. Like, I want to know how many receivers were left open in the first half, because Fields, when he would drop back to throw, he wasn't even thinking of throwing it downfield. He would sit in the pocket, immediately get a happy feet, and take off. Like, I want to know if there were guys open, because I have a feeling there might have been. Like, there was against Tampa, and Tyrod wasn't throwing it. So while I want to, like, obviously the Jets wide receiver is terrible. It's completely awful.
Fields plays the part, but again, second half, better pre-snap, moving, finding guys. First half, just white noise, nothing going on. Why is that? And why does he turn it around sometimes? I don't get it.
He had like 2 drives where it clicked for him. Like, it was the last drive in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter it clicked. But for the rest of the game, he was completely, like, again, unplayable. Like, to a point where I was like, you have to actually consider going to Tyrod, because you have a guy out there who can't play quarterback right now.
And it's not even like, I mean, there were some throws where the ball placement was off, like that Brees one early on. I remember Garrett had a really low one, but yeah, I haven't really seen too many throws this year where I'm like, grading on a scale where I'm like, man, he just whiffed. So much of this is he's in his own head.
I agree. Couple of crazy stats here for Brian. So, update from last week. Garrett Wilson currently on pace for 1,321 yards and 13 touchdowns. The next leading receiver is Brees Hall, who's on pace for 459. We're looking at other receiver stats, other wide receiver. Tyler Johnson who was inactive, who was a healthy scratch today. By the way, played 97% of Jets offensive snaps 2 weeks ago. Healthy scratch today. He's on pace for 268 yards, which is second highest among Jets receivers. Third highest is Allen Lazard, who has been a healthy scratch. And he is.
Why do they keep alternating them? Is it just to shake it up, or?
I think it was Tyler Johnson drop last week, which fair. It was a horrific drop.
Well, how'd that work out for you?
Lazard and Johnson occupy the same role of wide receiver.
Useless.
I mean, yes, useless.
Also, that's what they do.
Wide receiver 3 who doesn't play special teams. Like, that's their role. I like, if Johnson's dropping passes like that, I agree with them. Play Lazard. At least Lazard's going to block. Like, even if he doesn't want to be out there, I will repeat the talking point that I've said for a couple weeks now. See what you got with the practice squad guys. Because for, like, on to the point about, like, playing Aaron Smith more. The issue is that they don't trust Aaron Smith as a blocker. Anytime he's out there, it's almost a dead giveaway that they are not running the ball, because they're just sending him on a go route or something like that. Like, they do not trust him to play a role as a key blocker on any running plays.
But you gotta try something, right? You can't have 100 yards. There's probably going to be a team this year that has 3 1,000-yard receivers, or at least we'll get close to it. The Jets may not get 3 300-yard receivers. There's a good chance.
If they're going to run the ball 70% of the time anyway, I think Aaron Smith playing Aaron Smith more over Josh Reynolds and Allen Lazard would actually hurt them, given the offense they're trying to run right now.
See, that's the thing. They can run the ball.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Hall actually looks good this year. Fields, we've seen what he can do.
And I will say this too. While Reynolds is a nothing in the passing game, he actually had a good block on one of those outside zone Brees Hall runs as well. So, like, and I don't think Aaron Smith makes that block. So, like, I as much as, and again, this is, the entire wide receiver room stinks, but at least if you're going to play the guys that stink, at least make them be, like, decent blockers, so you're not removing the one part of your offense that actually does work. That's why I will say, hey, let's call up Brandon Smith, because I know he could block. We saw it in the preseason. I don't think Brandon Smith is worse than Allen Lazard. I really don't. If politics are why he's probably not going to get his chance, but I think it's done. That's who I would want to see get more snaps. I mean, I want to see Aaron Smith get more snaps too, but I understand the hesitancy to play him given his limitations.
Let's go get to the comments. We're going to start. We have a big backlog today, so thanks for sticking with us. We'll try to get to as many of these as we can. We'll start with Vinicius Cristello. Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor are the same quarterback. 4 seconds of clean pocket to throw a 3-yard check down.
In some cases.
Yeah, but how much of that is like, is Engstrand telling Fields to be conservative? Is Fields taking it onto himself? Like, I don't want to make a mistake. I got to be conservative. Like,
no, this is just the quarterbacks. This is like it's kind of Fields was doing this in Pittsburgh too. Like I don't know if this was a coaching thing with them, but they absolutely like he became a lot more of a game manager in Pittsburgh. Was checking it down all the time. Was really afraid to make mistakes. Look, the Justin Fields we saw in Week 1 was absolutely nothing like that. So I don't.
What happened between then and now?
I don't think this is a coaching thing. I think it's completely mental. I think he does not trust his arm. I think Week 2 spooked him. And he's coming back from the concussion. I think early on, I think you mentioned a good point earlier where you said, Tanner Engstrand didn't really trust him early on. And I think that got to his head. I agree with that. I think he can pick up on the fact that, hey, my coaching staff doesn't trust me to throw the ball. Like even his first.
But then also, if you come out firing, then this team that's built to run the ball doesn't run the ball, and you're throwing deep to Allen Lazard.
I'm not saying that that was a bad game plan, because it definitely wasn't. They drove down to the 1 yard line and should have scored if Braylon Allen doesn't fumble the ball. Like it was a very productive and efficient drive. Unfortunately, Fields was in his head. Like you literally, the one completion he had on that drive was a horrific wobbly pass where Breece Hall had to make an amazing.
Almost got hurt. He was wincing going back.
Right. Like that was terrible throw. Like he clearly was not feeling comfortable. All of a sudden it clicked on that last drive in the third quarter. And this is why, again, I like the
pre or post touchdown run.
Post touchdown run. It was the last drive in the third quarter.
It's like he's like a 3-point shooter. Like he's got to see the throw go deep and get caught. He's got to see something happen, and then he's like, okay, I'm feeling it now.
It was the last drive of the third quarter. It was the completion to Garrett. You could see it click. You could see it through the TV screen. It clicks in his head. That throw to Garrett Wilson, where that was his primary read on the play. He makes a nice read. Garrett Wilson sits down in between the zone coverage, and he actually fires a pass that is, he had enough time. He didn't bail out of the pocket, and it was a nice throw. And then the very next play, and I love that Tanner Engstrand did this, the very next play, deep crosser over the middle to Mason Taylor for like 25 yards or whatever it was, right? And then the very next play after that should have been a Garrett Wilson touchdown. I love, and I know that was OPI and it fucking sucks that it was, but I love that Engstrand was able to read his quarterback there, realize, hey, even though we've run the ball on 90% of our plays, our quarterback finally got into a rhythm. Let's keep going with it, right? And that's what this offense, that's the challenge that Tanner Engstrand faces, is how can we get that version of Justin Fields? How can we get him into the rhythm? And once he's in that rhythm, how can we get him to stay in that rhythm? That's what they were able to accomplish in Week 1. They haven't been able to do that since.
And the thing, like Zach Wilson, like he just could never get in rhythms. That was his problem.
He would every once in a while. Honestly, there's some similarities between Fields' struggles right now and Wilson's, where they're different.
I will say though, even we're ripping Fields a lot. Fields is better than Zach still.
I know he is. I agree, but they're different kinds of struggles in the sense that Wilson's struggles were like, I'm
talent wise.
I'm so like, well, I mean, yes, but also it was a lot of mental stuff with him. But the mental stuff would manifest itself in, I don't even trust my arm to make this 3-yard out. Like he will just dirt a 3-yard out. Fields, I don't want to throw the ball, because Fields knows how much of how dynamic of an athlete he is. He knows the threat that he poses when he takes off. So he's willing to lean on that sometimes, which he would do a lot at Ohio State. He did it a lot in Chicago. Like that's the difference with Fields and Wilson there, where, Wilson is unsure of himself. So his ball placement is a complete mess. When Fields is unsure of himself, he just doesn't throw the ball.
He just runs.
He just runs.
Which again, sometimes you get a 40-yard touchdown where you weave in and out between guys. And
which is why he's a better quarterback than Zach Wilson. Like I also think
Zach would never have made that play in a million years.
No. Well, he had that one crazy run against, I forget who it was, but he had that one.
Was it the Jaguars? Even then, I remember that play. A guy was about to push him out of bounds. He just stopped running, and then Zach just ran for the touchdown.
Fields is going to make that play a lot more than almost any quarterback that's ever played the sport.
Outside of Lamar, maybe.
Lamar and Michael Vick.
Yeah.
And Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, Randall Cunningham. So a couple people.
Steve Young. Like a lot of, there's other guys, but very few. Very, very few.
Vinicius, most expensive cornerback room in the NFL by AAV. 3 former first-round pick D linemen and a top 5 highest-paid linebacker in Sherwood and a former All-Pro in Quincy Williams. All that to suck this much. That's where it's on Wills. And that's where I think Glenn, either this week or the next, Glenn's going to pull a Saleh in 2021. Remember the defense got better after they gave up like 60 points to the Patriots? I think Glenn's going to say, I'm going to take a little more of a hands-on approach.
I don't know. I don't know if he will. I mean, it might get to that point, but you got to remember, like,
it's not what they're doing now is not working. So
Wilkes was his. I'm not saying it won't get to that point. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Steve Wilkes was his handpicked hire. This is an extremely experienced and respected coach. He is very well respected in that Jets locker room. I have many issues with the scheme he's been running this year, and I do not think he's doing a particularly good job. But I think the Jets will wait a bit longer to pull the plug.
One more from Vinicius. Dolphins had 0 takeaways before tonight. Now they have 3.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Neither team had a takeaway going into this game.
Brandon R. Fair catch at the 2 should be the thumbnail for the video. Oh, I looked. Believe me.
I'm going to see if that's on Getty, if that's in our Getty database.
We got a 3-parter from Marcelo Cabrera. First of all, we suck. Yes, correct.
Agreed.
One for one so far.
Well said.
Second, there were 4 penalties that were BS. 2 for 2. Yes.
I listed exactly with those 4 penalties before. Absolutely.
Third, Wilkes has been very bad, even if we have a very bad defensive unit.
Agreed.
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Yes.
100%. Agreed. I think a lot of the issues you saw, Mike, with the those play action bootlegs were also a result of just a lot of heavy press man like that. Like
it worked in Detroit because you have Aiden Hutchinson getting pressure on the quarterback with that, but you don't have that here.
Unfortunately, these Jets corners are bad. I don't know what else to say about it. Like they're too handsy, including Sauce Gardner.
Sauce is handsy.
He's way too handsy.
That's his problem.
Brandon Stevens is way too handsy. Michael Carter just stinks now. Like you don't have the
Tony Adams is terrible.
You don't have the corners to do it, and you certainly don't have the edge rushers without Jermaine Johnson to do it. And especially against the Miami team like this. And that's the other part too, is like teams destroy the Jets in play action bootlegs when Michael Clemens is playing, because Michael Clemens does not have the athleticism to get out in space and make plays in open space. Like that play where he bull rushed the right tackle. Awesome pass rush rep. Couldn't complete the sack because he's too unathletic.
No sacks on Tua, I don't think, right?
No sacks today.
Yep.
Tua Tagovailoa was able to, like, he's not an incredible athlete by any means, but he was able to make mincemeat of Michael Clemens in open space because Clemens couldn't tackle me in open space. Like I'd be able to, I don't know.
He'd kill you if he got a hold of you, but
oh my God, he would absolutely demolish me for sure. Like if I think I could evade him, maybe.
It's the old. I remember a guy was talking about Bobby Douglas, the old quarterback, and I guess this applies to Justin Fields too. Where he goes, he could throw the ball through a barn door, and I go, well, what's the catch? He goes, he can't hit a barn door.
Right. That was Josh Allen at Wyoming. That's
Gianluca Nelson. They didn't even attempt to throw until the 4th quarter, even when it's 3rd and medium. Now, again, that's the balancing act.
They attempted
a few times. Run good. So run in situations where everyone else passes, or stick with bad passing game.
Yeah.
It's pick your poison.
I saw people get upset when the Jets ran up in 3rd and 6 with Isaiah Davis, and my counter argument was they absolutely had a better chance of picking that first down up by running it with Isaiah Davis than trying to throw it with Justin Fields at that point.
Marcelo Cabrera, I like Engstrom, but he takes like 3 quarters to adjust. Yes, that's a big problem with him.
Yeah, look, that's
him and Glenn. We mentioned this before. They go into games like run the ball, don't turn the ball over on the first drive, which I get is fine, but he sticks with that for so long.
I think it's part of the learning curve of a first-year play caller. I want to see the all-22 back for this first half because I would be shocked, genuinely shocked, if there was nobody open on some of these passing plays where Fields just took off. Like I think there were guys open. Like those throws we saw Fields making late in the 3rd quarter and they were early in the 4th quarter. Like I think those were there in the first half and he just was not making them.
Brian Sternbeck, no Jets coaches ever started their tenure 0-5.
Fun.
Even Kotite.
Even Gase? Wait, what was
Gase won?
Oh, I'm thinking 2020. My bad.
2021. I think he went like 1-8, and then he won a bunch of crap at the end.
2020 was the year the Jets started 0-13.
0-14, and then blew Trevor Lawrence because they won 2 meaningless games and got stuck with Zach Wilson.
What did they do to Trevor Lawrence? Huh? Pause.
Oh, Marcelo Cabrera, G5 is great, yes. And Will McDonald had a decent run game, yes. It didn't amount to anything, but he did.
Yeah.
The Jets officially have 3 consecutive home games on tap, even if one is in London, excuse me. They're going to go play Denver's defense, man. Yes. On a neutral field.
Dude.
They're going to put Surtain on Wilson.
When do you want to place a bet right now? When do you think the Jets get their first takeaway of the year? Because surely they're going to get one. Surely
they play Dallas next week. Do they play
Denver? Week 6? Denver's a prime opportunity to get one.
Carolina the week after. One of those two.
Denver and Carolina, they have to. I mean,
I don't think Dak's throwing a pick against this defense. Dak is going to throw for so many yards against this defense.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We were saying that going into this week, though, like that this was the opportunity to get takeaways. Like if you're not getting takeaways, like Tua Tagovailoa leads the league going into this game. He led the league in turnover-worthy play rate. I don't think he had one. Well, he had one because he fumbled a snap. That's probably going to count as one.
And then it careened right to a Dolphin, obviously.
Right. I don't know if that'll count because it was kind of a bad snap, but I'm not sure how they'll count that. But like that was one where it's Jets could fall in the fumble, but no one was there.
Marcelo Cabrera, Sauce has been league average at this point. I wouldn't go that far, but
I think Sauce has been above average in coverage and bad at everything else. So like if you wanted to say he's been a league average corner, I don't think that's crazy. I thought he had an awesome week 1, and I think he's been to kind of bad since then, especially by his standards. Like I've
like if you're judging him based on what he was, you know.
We were on the show all year last year defending Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner allowed 25 catches last year, which is the fewest among all corners in the league. I thought that while it was admittedly a down year and the worst year of his career, I thought that he was still very good, still a very, very good cornerback. I think this year's been bad, like bad by his standards. I don't think he's a bad cornerback, but he's certainly not playing like a $30 million.
If you argue to that point, you're a fool.
I think he's bad by last year's standards too. I think he's been worse than last year. And I think a lot of it is scheme related. Like the Jets are playing a lot more press man. They're playing a lot more cover 1, which is very taxing on your cornerbacks, which bold strategy, given that their cornerback room has gotten significantly worse.
And there's one good player and
their safety room has gotten worse too. So very bold strategy. Also, your edge room has gotten worse.
Well, that's what he did in Detroit, which is because I remember Wilkes doing a lot of zone stuff. I don't know why he's not. Yeah. Ryan Gallagher, Sauce looking like a rookie second string. Well, that's just dumb.
No, he's not. But he's not playing well. Like I'm running out of excuses for Sauce Gardner. Like he needs to be better than he's been. I'm enough. I've had enough kind of babying him and being like, well, he's still great. It's like, yeah,
well, he is.
He is, but they need him to be. He's not playing great. Like they need him to be.
They need him to be crazy good, and he's not.
Like this is the bottom 3 defense right now. If he was playing like the Sauce Gardner that he was in his first couple of years in the NFL, even last year, I don't think they're a bottom 3 defense.
But they're still not good.
No, but they're better than they are. Like that's my point is they need him to be better. And because he's not better, he's hurting the defense.
Brandon R. Eccles was cut for catching a few too many balls, and we got Stevens to permanently fix that.
I mean, he wasn't cut. They let him walk. Like he wasn't cut. But and again, I thought Stevens played well today. Like
this isn't like a get your Brandon Stevens joke.
The big criticism or the big compliment that I will give Brandon Stevens is that he is a physical and willing tackler.
The only people in the secondary who can tackle right now are him and Jarvis Brownlee, and Jarvis Brownlee's hurt.
Yes. I 100%. And Malachi Moore is like he's like Jordan Whitehead, where he'll have those hits, but he also will have a lot.
He's also played, a couple games. I don't want to write the book on Malachi Moore already.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. And the linebackers have struggled. The DNs can't tackle for shit. Like nobody.
Really quick, Brian Sternbeck, LOL at Brees's post-game comments. Can you enlighten us as to what they were?
Oh, I haven't seen any of these posts. I haven't been looking. I got to look at this shit because I'm gonna have to write about it. What are some of these comments? Or what are people saying? I saw Sauce said something about the refs.
Which I'll go and vamp for a bit.
Oh, unbelievable! That's actually such a great comment.
What do you say?
I'm so glad. This is an amazing. Somebody's got to make a graphic out of this. Maybe I'll do it. Brees Hall quote: "Teams shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head."
Put that on my tombstone.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
That is one of my favorite quotes of all.
That's actually hilarious.
Fire quote, dude.
That's great.
Teams shoot themselves
in the comedian. Oh, now we're losing. Now you're a comedian all of a sudden, Brees Hall?
Teams shoot themselves in the foot, then we come back and shoot ourselves
in the head.
That's a bar, bro.
That's great.
A bar. Incredible.
That is fantastic.
Sauce Gardner commenting about the refs said, quote, "I'm personally frustrated. I watch football and I just feel like," and I don't know if this is wrong to say. Let's see. Here you go.
Yeah, okay.
Sauce Gardner preempts something.
No offense, but yeah.
Unfortunately, he can't delete his public quotes like he does his tweets.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm anti Sauce today. I don't know if this is wrong to say, but I think I get called for more. Oh, no. I get called for more stuff just based off us not winning. I watch these winning programs, and there's some egregious things that don't get called. We don't win, and I feel
no. All right.
I feel like I don't get the calls that we should get, and we get calls we shouldn't get called for.
All right, this is going to be
why I want to win, but I want to win because I don't like losing. That was a mess of a quote, Sauce. I'm not going to lie.
Eventually, it got to something that was good, but
yeah, but you can't be saying that, man.
This is going to be that Hannibal Buress. Why are you booing me? I'm right.
I don't think it is. I think he's committing those penalties, man. I mean, a lot of them I do think are flagged.
I think on the Jets, if he's talking about the Jets in particular, he has.
Well, if he said it as, I think we get called for more stuff. Because
but he said I. Yeah,
he's saying I, and I don't like that. I don't like that he's saying because that's not taking ownership for what was his mistakes. Like he made a mistake today. He had committed defensive pass interference. You want to argue it should have been a hold instead of whatever. Like he was getting handsy with the receiver. It was a penalty. Take ownership, man. Like don't say, oh, because we're losing, because I play on this shitty franchise, that's why I'm getting these penalties. Like, save it. I don't want to hear that shit.
But again, I think there is a kernel of truth in there at some point where, like, they do hose the shittier teams a lot.
Well, yeah. Well, the Jets got hosed today with the refs, but I don't think
Sauce, and not in a decided the game kind of way, but they did get hosed.
No, I don't think Sauce specifically was the victim of that, though. Like, if you wanted to be like, hey, that hit on Justin Fields should have been a penalty. Hey, that Garrett Wilson OPI should have been an OPI. Sure. Don't, because he made it about himself. Yeah. And again, I thought the thing with him was a penalty. Like, I don't think he has a leg to stand on with that today.
And I will say, though, too, I don't want to make it seem like I'm always, like, taking the pro Sauce point, but, like, I'm only taking that only because, like, on the list of problems with everything right now, like, I feel like I'm going to have to go quite a ways down that list before I get to him, I think is where I'm at with that.
No, I mean, yeah, obviously, like, Michael Clemens is the bigger issue with this football team. But the issue is Michael Clemens isn't getting paid $30 million to be the highest paid cornerback in the NFL, in NFL history. Like, that...
Is he in the top 10 of issues with this thing right now? I don't think so.
That's besides the point. They're an 0-4 football team. They have a lot of issues, but an issue I would say is that their $30 million cornerback is not playing like that, and he needs to be better, and he needs to take accountability. Like, I don't like seeing quotes like that. And I'm not someone that usually gets worked up about post-game quotes. I feel like
he's always been that guy, though, so it's kind of consistent. Like,
I feel like people who listen to the show know that I don't get worked up about quotes like that. But I think if you're playing poorly and you don't take ownership for it after the game and you're blaming the refs, I think that's weak.
I just think that's how he's always been like that, though. So I'm not really moved.
That's not a good thing. Yeah. That's not a good thing that he's like that. Like, that's not good.
Joseph Rumpolo, the worst team in the NFL, and this clown coach has got to go. DC has got to go, and the OC sucks also. Okay, like, all right.
He's mad.
I get that you're mad. I will say, though, too, there's only one first-year coach in the NFL right now that has a winning record. Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson's 2-2 and probably should be 1-3. Brian Schottenheimer's 1-2-1. Pete Carroll's 1-3. Kellen Moore's 0-4. Like, This shit's hard. It's really hard. And if you're giving Aaron Glenn 4 games to fix all of the Jets, like, that's.
I think you're going to be the optimist today because I'm not really.
Well, I don't want to say the optimist. It's just like we knew this was going to be a bit of a slow burn in terms of making them competitive and stuff like that. And like we mentioned before about divvying up the blame pie, like, Aaron Glenn is one of the bigger pieces of this. He's not number one. And it gets split so evenly across so many people. Like, oh, Aaron Glenn should have told Isaiah Williams not to fumble. Come on.
No,
Aaron Glenn should tell Michael Clemens to get more sacks. Like, there's so many. Yeah. It's not like he's less of a patsy, I think, than Robert Saleh, where Saleh at the end was just almost coasting because there was so much.
He was going through the motions.
He had it harder, I think, than Aaron Glenn. But like this team sucks. It's a bottom 5 offense. It's a bottom 5 defense. Even if you do a great coaching job for the rest of the year, that's like 5 wins. So if you do a great job. So because of that, I don't want to beat the guy up. It's like, well, you try to create a really good passing game plan when Alan Lazard is your wide receiver too. You try to get this defense all fixed up when the few good players they have are starting to get hurt. Like, these tasks are very difficult, and I don't think that Aaron Glenn's going to fix them immediately. Now, there are problems that are festering that he is not fixing, which I think deserves some criticism. But I think, like, if you get out of the Jets bubble a little bit, the consensus seems to be, all right, eventually Aaron Glenn will figure it out because people like Aaron Glenn. Like, immediately,
nobody knows.
I think there is a lot of, like, and I get Jets fans being frustrated, but, like, this team it's going to take a while to fix them.
My issue is with the operation as a whole. My issue is with the fact that this Jets team is worse than I thought they were. And perhaps that's on me. Perhaps that's on me for thinking that they could win 6-7 games this year. So sorry, the meme 6-7, sorry. That's on me.
What?
You don't know how out of touch are you, Mike? How offline
what do you mean 6-7?
Oh man.
What's the joke? What am I
missing? Oh no, Mike. All right, I'm not gonna get into this. I'm not
gonna
get into this with you.
Do it super quick. What's the joke?
It's a meme. It's just a meme. It's like a gag. It comes from a song. I'm not gonna sit here and meme-splain.
I don't even get the punch. Like, there's no. What are you making fun of? It's just people. What?
I don't.
You just say 6-7 at people.
Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah.
What the hell's happening? We are not okay. Collectively, we are not okay.
There's like a what do you call? a tone to it that you do, and there's like a little mannerism. I'm not gonna do this shit anyway. On the Jets, Google it. All right, Google it. Urban Dictionary. I don't know, man.
What the number 67? What am I gonna?
No, it's specifically 6'7". Anyway, all right. Fuck, man. What I'm saying, anybody under the age of like 25 is gonna be really mad at you right now. No, but on the Jets, like, perhaps it's my fault for having too high of expectations for this team, which I thought my expectations were fairly low. I thought they were fairly tempered. I didn't think this was a playoff team. I didn't think this was a team that was going to sniff the playoffs unless the highest of highest potential outcomes was reached. I did think this was a team that was better than 3 or 4 wins. And right now, I don't feel that way.
It's Lenora Sellers and Nussmeier and Fernando Mendoza. That's where we're at right now.
It's September 29th. A lot can change. We are 4 weeks into the season. But those 4 weeks have shown me a football team that is worse than I thought they were going to be. And I'm not sitting here and saying who's the biggest, culprit for that. I'm not saying who shares the biggest part of the blame pie for that. I'm not saying it's the GM or the coaching staff. I'm just looking at this team, and I see a team with a bottom 3 offense that has a quarterback situation that has been untenable for a good half the year at a minimum right now, has an offense that knows what they want to do, but does not have the personnel to do it, and a defense that is wholly underperforming. And while I thought the defense was a bit overrated going into the year, a lot of people are like, hey, look, the Jets could still make the playoffs. They have like a top 10 defense. I was like, I'm not sure where they're getting a top defense from, or top 10 defense, but sure, man. I didn't think it'd be a bottom 3 defense. I thought it'd be closer to league average than what we've seen.
It's them, Miami, and Dallas right now. And Carolina, those are the worst defenses.
Yeah. So that, and then also the special teams blunders, like, can't be happening. Cannot be happening. So I see a football team that realistically right now, if they play like how they've played through these 4 weeks, I don't really see a formula and a blueprint for them to win games, because they have a quarterback situation that, like, you cannot overcome the ineptitude that they've had at quarterback for, most of this year with the rest of the team that they have around them, because the wide receiver room stinks. The running game is good, but if you have absolutely no threat of a passing game, eventually you're going to have to throw the ball, and they can't do that. Unfortunately, they also have a defense that I think is even worse than the numbers suggest. I think this is a bottom 2 or 3 defense. I really do. And I'm not sure I don't think they're going to be ranked like DVOA or whatever numbers wise that low. I think they're that bad.
Like eventually,
hold on. They get no takeaways. They have 0 pass rush. Their corners stink. Their linebackers are underperforming. They have 1 player on this team, on this entire unit, that is playing at the level they should, and that's Quinnen Williams. Maybe you could argue Harrison Phillips, Juwan Briggs. That's it.
The defensive tackle room.
The defensive tackle room. Will McDonald has been invisible, I think, as a pass rusher. I thought
since week 1, he hasn't done anything.
And this isn't saying Will McDonald's like the biggest problem. I'm not saying he's like a top 5 problem on the team, but you need your standout players to be standout players. Will McDonald has not been a standout player this year. Jamian Sherwood has not been a standout player this year. So the result is a bottom.
Tony Adams has been unplayable.
Well, we know Tony Adams stinks. Like, I know Tony Adams stinks. You can say, hey, they should play Malachi Moore. I'd agree with that. But I take more issue with the fact that everyone on this defense, outside of their defensive tackles, are underperforming. I take issue with the fact that the offense is worse than I thought it was going to be. It is.
Well, I guess who do you pin that on then?
I'm not saying that who's the fault. Again, I'm not trying to like play.
Well, you have to pin it on somebody, right?
You can play. It's everyone. Blame it on everyone. Blame it on the GM for the personnel that they have out there. Blame it on the coaching staff for not getting more out of their players. It's everybody, right? But I'm just saying, as a Jets fan, somebody who follows and covers this team, I've been very disappointed with the team through 4 weeks, and I think they're worse than they should be. And I know it's a long game, and I'm not expecting Super Bowl. I'm not expecting playoffs this year, but I expect better than what we've seen through 4 weeks. And I think Jets fans should expect better than that. So I'm not going to get upset at any fans that are pissed. I mean, obviously we're not, it's silly to preemptively be like, fire Aaron Glenn.
Like Todd Woolman here says, please fire Alan Glenn. Maybe that's the problem. They hired Alan Glenn and his evil twin.
Yeah, no, like, obviously, but that's just reactionary fan shit. Like, but the reaction or the emotion is valid. Like, they should be mad. Like, this isn't a situation where I'm looking at it and saying, you know what did we expect? This Jets team stinks. Like,
well, I guess maybe I'm more in that, like, this Jets team stinks.
No, I know you are, and I'm pushing back, and I'm saying they shouldn't stink this bad. They should not be in Tennessee Titans conversations. They're better than that, and we had higher expectations than that going into the year. Nobody. Like, if you told me that if through 4 weeks, I'd be like, yeah, this Jets team's gonna be like 3 or 4 win team. Like, I'd be very upset about that if you told me.
We both said like 6 wins. So
6 wins was my prediction. Six. I do not see 6 wins.
You see them going 6 and 7 the rest of the way?
6-7 the rest of the way?
No, that's a serious point. What? Like,
no, I don't.
What's the meme? Is that the okay?
Okay. No, I
have no idea. Is that did I meme? I have no idea what I'm even saying anymore.
No, I don't think you did.
No, thank God.
I don't see this Jets team. Well, so they'd have to realistically go. So there's how many games left? They played 4, so there's going to be 13
17 minus 4 is
13. There's 13.
Oh, yeah.
There's 30. Hold on.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Dude, I haven't taken a math class since high school. It's been a long time.
It's 17 minus 4, Justin Fried.
Relax. We have calculators. No, so there's 14 games left. I don't see them going 6-8. I absolutely do not see them going 6-8 the rest of the way. Like, that would be stunning to me. If this team that we just saw play these first 4 games was able to go 6-8, basically 500 the rest of the way. I don't think they have that in them. And because of that, they're probably going to win 4 games this year. And that's a problem. And I don't think that's a successful first year for this new regime.
What would you feel more? Let's say they go 4-13. Would you feel more confident in Aaron Glenn going into year 2, or how you felt about Saleh going into year 2? Because this is not a moral This is not a moral victories game because the Jets suck.
It depends.
Even though they had that Titans upset win, I think they've looked a little better than they did in Saleh's first year. Early on,
they go 4-12 in Saleh's first year.
4-13, yeah.
There was technically 4-13. Okay.
One of them was the Mike White game too, but I remember they got shut out one game. They gave up 50 points to the Patriots. Like it was.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't out on Saleh, and I'm not like down on Aaron Glenn necessarily. I'm just down on the organization. Like I'm not.
Well, he's part of that, right?
He is. But I'm not specifically down on him, is what I'm saying. Like nothing from the first 4 weeks has shown me that Aaron Glenn can't be a successful head coach in the NFL. But it has shown me that this Jets team is worse than I thought they are. And that's a result of the coaching staff. That's a result of the front office. Like if you want me to actually put specific blame, I would say more blame on Muji than Glenn, more blame on Wilkes than Engstrand. Like those would be my two.
Correct on both. And even then, I don't want to blame Muji because like there was so much, I think, crap he got dealt coming into this job because of how bad Rodgers failed. By the way, if I see oh man, they should have kept Aaron Rodgers. If I see anyone,
I don't want to get mad. I don't want to talk about that. I don't get mad, man. I tweet out one thing.
Has Fields been better than Rodgers this year?
No, I can't say that after this game now. If you had asked me like after week 2, I would have said yes, because what Fields did in week 1 is a better performance than anything Rodgers has done this year. Unfortunately, Justin Fields has again been unplayable for 6 of his last 7 quarters. So
it's like drive to drive. Zach Wilson, he'd make 2 throws. You're like, okay, this is going to be one of those games. Drive to drive, you don't know what you're getting with this guy. Sometimes he'll do some crazy thing and have a 40-yard touchdown run, and then he'll just crap his pants and take a sack. Like it's baffling. Raphael 123 Kraft fired Gerard Mayo after a year. Different scenario.
He's not getting fired.
No, he's not. Different scenario.
The Jets could go 0-17, and I don't think Aaron Glenn gets fired.
I think he might if they do that, but
I don't think he would. It depends on how it happens. If they go 0-17 and the entire locker room quits, and Sauce Gardner's tweeting fire Aaron Glenn, and then
it seems like they all like him. So
yes, no, that you know how damaging that would be to hire Aaron Glenn, who is a top candidate, right? Who like. Teams were
every job interviewed him except the Patriots because he turned them down personally.
Teams
because of the
Aaron
Jets.
Glenn. Aaron Glenn chose to come to the Jets because he wanted to rebuild the organization that he once played for. You know how damaging it would be for the organization to fire him after 1 year.
Who would come here after
Nobody.
That?
That's what I'm saying. Even if they go 0-17, I don't think he's fired. Like I don't think there's a world unless he like commits murder that he is getting fired after 1 year.
Even then, maybe Woody sends a lawyer. Like,
and even then, yeah, maybe they figure out something.
Brian Sternbeck, real talk. I didn't expect to be at the point where I'm contemplating life after Glenn before September is over. The degree to which they have flopped was not foreseen.
I agree, Brian. I'm with you.
And then he says also, if a team finishes with the number 1 overall pick, it's going to be hard to not hit the full organizational reset button.
They won't. They won't.
Well, Glenn is this team right now feels like, I almost want to say Mike McDaniel, even though they won like a Mike McDaniel thing, or like when you're going, or Brian Dable this year. It's a team where you're going into the year and there's a coach that you know is going to get fired and they're kind of playing out the string. This team almost feels like that, but it's year 1 of Aaron Glenn in a way. Like,
yeah, which is not good. That's
well, I'm saying roster construction wise. Like the quarterback came over, some overpriced veterans, guys are starting to show that they're washed. Like there's a lot of things like that. Whereas I think in year 2, that's always been the selling point is then we'll see if Fields is the guy. If not, I'll get my guy in there, and then we can actually build this thing up. Like I get that, but So because of that, I think, again, Glenn's being put in a spot that is not very advantageous. And again, one more thing kind of going off that point.
Sure.
Because I always will get on Jets fans for this, and then we'll get to Brian's comment. Like, I always say, like, remember when they were always saying fire Saleh, name an alternative? Like, would anybody really be doing a better job with this team of, like, the first-year guys that they hired or didn't hire? Like, would anybody really have this team, like,
it's an impossible question. It's an impossible question to answer. We don't know.
Like, I remember they were like, hire Pete Carroll. I don't think Pete Carroll's winning with this team.
No, Pete Carroll will be dead before they even make the playoffs. Like, that's not a comment about Pete Carroll. That's a comment about the Jets.
Yeah, well, they will kill Pete Carroll in his advanced stage.
Right.
Brian Sternbeck, I would not have signed Sherwood or Stevens this offseason. By OTC's calculation, that's 2 fourth-round comp picks they could have gotten next year when they don't have a third.
Yes to Stevens, no to Sherwood. Like, I would have signed.
Nobody foresaw him being this bad.
I don't think he was bad today. Like, I don't think.
Today was his best game, but the first 3 weeks, I mean, it was Fields like unplayable.
It's. I wouldn't even go that far. I think Sherwood's got a little too much shit from the fan base. Like, I think he's been very bad in coverage. Like, that has been the big issue.
And it's noticeable. That's the thing.
Very noticeably bad in coverage. And that has been a big issue. I think he's been pretty solid in run defense.
You'd think being a safety, he'd have zone instincts.
It's a bad, I'm not like out on Jamie Sherwood. It was a bad 3 weeks. I would hope that he will play better throughout the rest of the year. But again, that's like another guy who's just underwhelmed this year. But yes to Stevens, especially if you are drafting Azareye'h Thomas, then you obviously that wasn't the plan. But then you're trading for Jarvis Brownlee, which again was not the plan. But you now have like 2 corners who you could argue I'd rather see out there than Stevens. Definitely at their contracts, I would much rather have them on the roster than Brandon Stevens. And yes, you would have gotten another comp pick if you did not sign Brandon Stevens. While he was good today, just a baffling signing. Just there were a few like the few big criticisms that I had of this Jets offseason were the Stevens signing, which, that is not aging well. The Arian Smith draft pick, not aging well. He's not contributing at all. And there are other players who were drafted after him, Alec Iamaner, Torrey Horton.
To be fair to Arian Smith, too, we're doing a lot of, Azareye'h Thomas is a rookie, Malachi Moore's a rookie. We don't want to write the book on him. Like, is it fair to do that with them and then not? No,
I'm not saying he's done for his career. I'm just saying, like, through 4 weeks, it already looks like there were better picks that they could have made. And I feel very confident based on my pre-draft evaluation of Arian Smith, combined with everything we've seen from him this summer and afterwards, that I will feel the same way in 3 years from now, that I will feel that they absolutely could have made better picks. I could be proven wrong. I don't know. But that, and then also...
Well, I think Membu at least looks like a home run, so you got that.
Membu looks great. I'm not saying that they completely whiffed on everything in the offseason, but I'm saying that the things that I thought they whiffed on as well, like the other parts of it, were I was confused by the day 3 strategy. I did not like their day 3 picks. Tyler Barron looks unplayable. Maui Goa's had moments like you're not expecting a ton.
Not enough to make a call. Moore looks okay, but you need to see more.
Barron looks unplayable. You traded up for Tyler Barron. You don't have you traded away I believe a future 5th round pick to trade up for Tyler Barron. So you gave up basically you used 2 5th round picks essentially
to Tyler Barron. He
draft Tyler Barron, and he would not be in 99% of
that was actually a good consensus big board pick and just
right.
Yeah.
So it's a whiff so far. Malachi Moore, I mean, I'm excited to see him out there. Currently not playing over Tony Adams. So
no justification for that.
You're getting no impact from him either. Like, I think a lot
even Stevens over Thomas, I can justify. He's the one guy who can tackle right now, and he's got the contract. Like, there's no justification for Tony Adams over Moore. Right
so I'm just saying it's a situation where the issues that I thought they had, like the mistakes I thought they made in the offseason, are the same mistakes that I'm pointing to now and saying, well, these are still issues with the team. And it's not want to take a victory lap, but like, and I'll throw this one. I will take one victory lap here. They should have taken Jackson Smith-Njigba over Will McDonald. And I know that's so irrelevant to what we're talking about right now, but like, I felt so confident about that at the time. If this team drafted Jackson Smith-Njigba and re-signed Bryce Huff, they would be in such a better situation right now. And I was saying that for.
But would Huff have had that Philly terrible year?
No, because he wouldn't have gone to Philly. He would have still been playing as a 4-3 defensive end. And guess what? Bryce Huff's better than Will McDonald. He's better than Will McDonald as a pass rusher. He's better than him as a run defender. And Jackson Smith-Njigba is sure as hell better than any other wide receiver in this damn wide receiver room besides Garrett Wilson.
I guess McDonald's shown enough where it's not like a crazy miss, but yeah, Njigba's better.
I don't know if he gets a second contract.
From the Jets, no. I mean, somebody's going to pay him. Like
he's going to stick around in the league. I could see. I think he's another Yannick Ngakoue.
I think the Jets stuck him in a terrible scheme for him and both coaches. He should be 3-4.
Yeah.
never put his hand in the dirt, just go get the quarterback.
Which then why the fuck are you drafting him?
Bryce Huff replacement.
Why not just sign? Again, it's the it's the Family Guy meme where it's like, oh, the box could be like, oh, we have this boat, we have this amazing.
Well, that strategy got the guy fired. Two more comments here, really quick. Okay. Nicholas Arbusto, worst team in the league. I can only see them beating the Saints or the Panthers. We'll be lucky to win 3 games. I mean, that's a little bit doom.
Titans are worse.
Titans are worse.
The Tennessee Titans are currently the only team that I feel confidently saying is worse than the Jets, and that includes the Saints.
I think probably they're better than the Saints.
They should be. They're more talented than the Saints. They should be.
Saints gave the Bills a run for their money.
Right. I don't know if they are better than the Saints right now. They should be.
And then penalties and mistakes are on the coaches, not the player. Yes and no.
Yes and no. Like no.
The Fields letting guys go unblocked in the false start. That's on him.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Like I always hate the idea that penalties are like the fault of the coaching staff because it's not. There's generally no correlation between the most penalized teams and like successful teams.
In the moment, are you thinking, whoa, Coach Glenn told me not to hold on this play? Yeah. Like you're not thinking like that.
Pretty sure the Chiefs are regularly among the most penalized teams in the NFL.
Which is funny considering the narrative around them.
I know.
And Vinicius, I understand that we were overreacting, but how many great coaches started their careers 0-4? I don't think it's a lot of great coaches start off their first year terribly.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, the comparison will be Dan Campbell went 3-13-1 in his first year with the Lions. It's starting to feel like the Josh Allen thing, right? It's starting to feel like which by the way, that's
the Justin Fields thing.
That sauce quote's getting picked up by the aggregators now, so that shit's gonna go viral. And that's an embarrassing quote. It's an embarrassing quote from him. He can't be saying that. And I will be hard on him because the best players in this team need to stand up. Like they need to step up and be the best players in this team. And I think Sauce Gardner right now has not been a particularly great player through 4 weeks, and him saying shit like that is weak. And I don't like him saying that. And I very rarely get on player. You know this, Mike. I very rarely get on players for quotes. I really don't care. Coaches too. I'm like, it's usually meaningless. You can't say shit like that. That's a bad quote from Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, I just think he's frustrated.
He is, and he shouldn't be saying that. And that's something that I think Aaron Glenn is going to be very mad at him for saying. I don't think Glenn is going to like him saying that. I don't think Glenn is going to like Sauce Gardner going up there and saying, hey, I get penalized more because our team sucks. That's a really shitty thing to say. Like, that's not going to go well with the locker room.
I do think he does get a little. I think, honestly, I will say this. Not to keep doing point counterpoint with Sauce.
Sure.
I think because I think people have biases sleeping. I think some of the whole, like, he holds on every play thing kind of seeped into the. Like, it's just a generally accepted thing, and I think people call him, which I think there have been multiple plays this year I think he's gotten dinged unfairly. Like, I remember the one against Tampa.
Yes, the Mike Evans one.
That was just horrendous. So if you're looking at that, you're like, okay, I get it, but, you know.
If he said it after that, I wouldn't have as big of a problem with it. I'd still say it's stupid to single out yourself and make it about yourself instead of the team, but I'd be like, okay, hey, valid.
I guess the cornerback mindset, I don't know.
That's what it is, but it's a dumb thing to say. Like, I obviously I get why he's saying it.
Titans are much better than the Jets. Knock it off.
The Titans are the only team in the NFL I feel confident saying are worse than the Jets. The Titans, they might go winless. They are hapless in every possible way. I think if the Jets play the Titans right now, I would feel fairly confident the Jets win that game, which is crazy. I wouldn't feel that way about any other team. The Titans are that bad of a football team right now.
Maybe I'm trying to look because I'm looking on Tankathon. For those, by the way, if the season ended right now, the Jets would have the number 2 pick. So
Saints would be first?
Saints would be 1.
Okay.
And then because of strength of schedule, so Jets would be 2, Titans would be 3.
Hey, that Jets Saints game is gonna be super important. Oh fuck, they're totally winning that game, Mike.
So I'm just looking Cleveland. Yeah, Browns are better because the defense.
Can I bet right now that on that Jets Saints game that the Jets are gonna win that game? I want to bet right now. I don't know what if it's possible.
It's gonna be a Rams game.
You know they're winning that game. It's not going to mean anything.
They're only going to win if it's disadvantageous.
You know what's happening? Tyrod is starting that game.
If they go crazy hot and they got 4 or 5 wins, they're losing that game. And the Saints will be like 0-11, and then they'll win it.
The Jets will have 2 or 3 wins going into that game. Tyrod will be starting because Fields got hurt again, and they'll win that game by 2 scores.
Yeah. Miami, we found out they're better than the Jets. Baltimore is obviously better than the Jets.
Yep.
Raiders, better than the Jets.
Every team other than Titans.
Giants. Better than, not by a lot, but they're better.
Every other team except the Titans, I feel like, is better than Jets. Saints, you could argue, but
Houston's better, and then Carolina, maybe.
No, they're better than Jets. Panthers, they beat the Falcons 30-0.
Yeah, and then they gave up 40 points to Drake May.
The Jets haven't beaten anyone 30-0. They can't even dream.
Well, I'm looking at just the 1-win teams. I'm saying, is there one out there? Maybe
game is better than anything the Jets have done this year.
I know, but I think the Chiefs are better than some of the 3-1 teams out there. I mean,
Can you imagine this Jets defense allowing even fewer than 14 points in a game right now, let alone 0? Getting multiple takeaways? Absolutely not. They can't do that shit.
Then again, nobody thought the Panthers would shut a team out, and then week to week in this league.
And then the Jets play the Browns too this year. So,
and is that a London game?
No, their London game is
Denver.
Denver, yeah.
That's 2 weeks from now. All right, imagine that game. We hinted at it. Jets, they stick Surtain on Garrett Wilson. How do they move the ball? How do they do it?
They don't.
How do they do it?
They're going to try and run. John Franklin Myers is going to have 2 strip sacks against Justin Fields, and I'm going to cry myself to sleep. Like that's what I'm expecting from that game.
Lane Brandon, about to be a Giants fan. Dart looks fun. Jackson Dart barely did it. Come on now.
I know he did. That wasn't Dart. I mean, he was whatever. Like I think,
let me show you the screenshot of how good he did. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I accidentally put Daniel Jones's 4 touchdown game against the Bucs. My bad.
I will say this as a quick Giant side note. Like, it's funny because they tried to build their offense around a deep passing game, but they just don't have the offense to do it. Or they don't have the offensive line to do it. Like their receivers can do it. Well, not.
Well, they could neighbors now.
Unfortunately, not. My
MetLife Turf got another one.
The dynasty wide receiver that I traded 3 first-round picks for just tore his ACL. So I'm gonna cry.
Okay, George Allen over here.
I'm gonna cry. But yeah. So they tried. They tried to build it on a deep passing game. Couldn't do it because their offensive line stinks. I actually think I think Jackson Dart is a better fit for that offense because of that. Even though I don't think Russ was bad enough to be benched. Like, I don't think it was necessarily he wasn't the biggest reason, right? Well, although he had a terrible week 3. But I think that the offense that they're running now with Dart is going to work better just because that offensive line is so bad. Which, by the way, big old whiff from me on John Michael Schmitz. I thought he was going to be really good. He's terrible.
Tippmann was the better pick, it looks. Tippmann's
good,
actually.
Absolutely, Tippmann was a better pick. John Michael Schmitz is terrible.
All right, 2 questions, then we're going to wrap up the show.
Okay.
Number 1, if Tyrod plays, would the Jets win this game?
They might. They might, dude. They might.
It's a weird situation because Fields, I think, is so clearly better than Tyrod, but I think Tyrod has them in games more.
I will say it's the same thing I've been saying. The floor is a lot higher with Tyrod. The ceiling is a lot higher with Fields.
With Fields.
The Fields that we saw in week 1, that's the ceiling of this offense.
And that's what it could be. And the fourth quarter.
Yeah, for a drive and a half. Yeah, sure.
I mean, we got it. There's so few positives. You got it.
But with Tyrod, at least I know they're not going to be complete dog shit. They're going to be bad. And there's a lot of times where, again, Tyrod is just not throwing open receivers. I don't know if they win this game with Tyrod, but I think the offense is more watchable in that first half. That's for sure.
And then Marcelo Cabrera, when do we have conversations about who do we draft stuff? We can start right now.
Give me Ruben Bain.
Well, if they're picking top 3, they're taking a quarterback.
I don't want to, dude. Just give me Ruben Bain. The Jets,
you don't like Lenore Sellers?
I just want a great pass rusher, man. I want our Nick Bosa. I want our TJ Watt.
Well, the Giants have Abdul. I guess they got Dart too, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, they got to have their cake and eat it too.
They got both, yeah.
Why can't we?
I will say, as bad as this quarterback class looked, because Aller, I think, hasn't been as good as we thought, I think Sellers bounced back.
Yes, I agree.
I think Nussmeier got better. Dante Moore looks like a prospect.
Dante Moore, if he even comes out, but he's a sophomore. He's a redshirt sophomore.
Well, because he started at UCLA as a freshman.
Yeah, he's eligible, but I don't know if he's going to come out.
I think if he goes back 1 year, he'd be the number 1 pick. Him and Archer would compete for number 1.
I don't know if he's going to come out, but
if he's just crazy good this year, I think he declares.
Mendoza looks good.
Mendoza has been phenomenal.
You could sell me on Fernando Mendoza. You could sell me on him.
I think my big board right now, I think those are the top 3. It's because Sellers.
Those are the top 3 for sure. Yeah,
it's Sellers, Nussmeier, but Nussmeier, I think, will find some way to end up on the Saints.
4 is a competition. Drew Aller's in that conversation. John Mathieu, unfortunately, got hurt, is in that conversation. Other guys possibly. I mean, if Dante Moore came out, maybe he'd be in that conversation too. But yeah, you could sell me on Mendoza. The selling point on Mendoza for the Jets would be he could just be Jared Goff. That's your selling point.
I think he's a little bigger, stronger than Goff.
Yeah, but I'm saying as hey, this is the kind of a mobile, but also very talented, arm that we're going to build around. I mean, Goff's not.
Wouldn't hate them if they win a couple games, maybe getting a Jordan Tyson. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you could use a great wide receiver too.
They need
a lot of things. Yes.
And one last question, actually, Justin. Now, before we call it a wrap on the stream, will a Jets wide receiver that is not Garrett Wilson have 400 yards this year?
So per Brian's update before, Tyler Johnson is second.
Is on pace for 300.
Less than 300, and he was a healthy scratch, so that's not helping his case to continue that pace. No. I don't think so. I don't know who would do it. Dude, Alan Lazard.
That's not Mason Taylor, I think will, but he's I'm saying wide receivers. Yeah.
I think Mason Taylor and Breece Hall will. I don't think another wide receiver does. Who's going to do it? Tyler Johnson's a healthy scratch. Arian Smith has.
Josh Reynolds is washed. Lazard's washed.
Arian Smith has 3 catches. I think Reynolds has 1 catch this year in 2 games that he's played now. Maybe.
And then he had 2 in week 1.
Lazard has 90 yards. And Tyler Johnson is second with 200-something yards, and he was a healthy scratch. So I don't think so. Or I'm sorry,
on pace for 90 yards.
Goodness gracious, does he not have 200-something yards? And Alan Lazard does not have 90 passing yards. That's what they're on pace for. So no, I don't think it happens. I would be actually surprised at this point if it did.
What a disgrace!
Yeah, man.
What a disgrace.
They're a bad football team. They should be better. And I'm really
15 years and no playoffs.
I'm annoyed. Like I'm actually annoyed. And maybe it's my fault for caring about this football team again this year, but I'm genuinely annoyed. They should be better than this.
And with that, I think let's
wrap it up.
I think we're going to call time on this episode of the Jet Press podcast.
The longest post-game stream in a while.
I haven't a tear left to shed, Justin Fried.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told it gets better.
We'll see about that.
I think they're feeding me bullshit. I think that chicken soup for the football soul is not working out here.
You know why it gets better, Mike? Because we'll be back here on Wednesday. We'll be talking more football. We'll be talking more Jets, and it gets better.
Javi Vasquez says we suck. Yes, we don't just suck once. We suck.
It's a suck fest. It's a suck off. All right, pause. Thank you all for joining us on the show today. You can follow Mike on Twitter.
That was a Brooklyn Nine-Nine joke. Give me a.
Was it really? I didn't.
Yeah.
Know that. Oh, I didn't. I've watched the show. I didn't realize it.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a great show.
We not winning no game, says Javi.
Oh, I thought you were quoting Brooklyn Nine-Nine again.
You need to work on your tenses there, but yes.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us on the show today. You can follow Mike on Twitter at @ByMikeLuciano. Follow me on Twitter, Justin T. Fried. Follow Jet Press at the Jet Press. Download Jet Press Podcast wherever you get podcasts. Check us out on YouTube and TikTok. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can also become a member today. It is 99 cents. It is a great way to help support the show and get your comments prioritized in chat. We stream live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time and live immediately following every single Jets game. Thank you all for listening to Jet Press Podcast. I've been Justin Fried. That's been Mike Luciano. We'll see you guys next time.
They play Dak next week, man. It gets better, I've been told.
We'll see.